Hi, Craig here. Sunday morning, 8:55. About to go into church for our two services at 9:30 and 11:30. I was doing a little Ask Me Anything yesterday, and one of the questions that came up was, how do I know what God's purpose is for my life? How do I find my purpose? Which is a huge question. Actually, there were about probably 150 questions. So many of them. Can I just say this really quickly? And this is not a plug, but many of you were asking me about the prophetic. How can I hear God's voice? How can I wait through the period between getting a word and seeing it fulfilled? How can I interpret dreams? All of that is in my book, I Hear Yahweh. Okay, this is not a sales plug. Don't buy it if you want to, but what I can say to you is there are about 400 pages on that, all of those subjects and more covered in that book. So do what you will with that. But purpose, God's purpose for your life. What is God's plan and purpose for your life? Can I say just two things really quickly? I'll probably at some stage do a video which goes into more detail on this, but there's three things. The first one is this: don't stress about this. There's something about, I particularly feel about the millennials who feel like you've got to know God's purpose. And until you know God's purpose, you just kind of sit around and don't do much because you're waiting for the purpose. As if purpose is this thing that drops from the sky and it's completely defined and it's completely packaged and you unwrap it and you go, wow, this is my purpose. That is not the way God's purpose works, okay? It is not a package you unwrap. It is a plan you unfold. I got a P and a U in there. It is not a package you unwrap. It is a plan you unfold over time. It doesn't come down in one package, okay? Yes, there are elements of it that God speaks clearly and directly, but I am 45 now. I am still unfolding my purpose. 5 years ago, I hated writing. I had never written a thing, hardly. And in the last 5 years, I've written 3 books, and I'm working with a publisher in the States now on some stuff. If you'd have told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed at you. So purpose unfolds over time. There are certain things that you are uniquely wired to do, and that's the next thing I want to say, is that define your difference. Define your difference. What is it that you do easily that other people find difficult? When you walk into a room, what enters the room, and when you exit the room, what leaves with you? And that can take a little bit of time to figure out. Like for me, what I figured out was when I enter and leave a room, I carry a spiritual authority with prophetic preaching. That's what I bring into a room. I have been in meetings where nobody knew me, where I was completely unknown, and I've had other leaders walk up to me and go, you're a senior pastor, I see the authority over your life, before I've even said a word. You're a spiritual leader, because there's something in the spiritual realm that recognizes authority sometimes much better than we do as humans. So what is the difference that you bring? What is the thing? You see, we get compensated and rewarded according to our difference. That's why people in McDonald's, people who work in a gas station, they all kind of get paid the same, because a lot of people can do that. I'm not demeaning that, I'm just saying a lot of people can do that. Those who do something very unique, that's why a heart surgeon gets paid more than a normal doctor, because they have a unique difference. And there is something about defining your difference and understanding what are the 2 or 3 things that you do that, yes, others can do, but they do them differently than you, or they don't do them just as well as you, or you bring a unique flavour and colour to that. Define your difference. What enters a room when you enter, what leaves when you leave, what is the thing that you are uniquely wired to do? What is your passion? What are you drawn towards? What is the thing that energizes you, even though it might be hard work? Like when I preach, it is hard work. I sweat buckets. But at the end of it, I am energized, I am enthused, I am more alive than I am anywhere else. And so, discern your difference. And the second thing is this: discern where you make a difference. Discern the place where you make a difference. There's no point in you having a unique difference if it doesn't impact, influence, or touch anybody else. That's a nice hobby. But if it's God's purpose for your life, God's purpose is never just about you. It is about impacting and touching the world around you. So what is the thing that you bring into a group, into a place, into a community, into a situation, that if you weren't there, things would not be the way they are. Things would not be as good. Things would be very different. What is the unique thing that you carry with you that makes a difference and that can make a greater difference in the world? So that's the three things. The first thing is this: don't stress and don't assume that this purpose comes packaged, but it actually progressively is something that unfolds over time, okay? You might be 27, you might be 30, and you might be stressed. I don't know my purpose. That's okay. That is okay. The Lord will unfold that. What I would say to you is do whatever's in front of you. Do whatever the Lord places in front of you. Do it with faithfulness. Do it with honour. I once, this is another story for another day, one of my jobs was once selling pump dispensers. You know the little squeezy things that go in hand soap? Before I went into ministry, that was my job. Selling pump dispensers, okay? Not the most illustrious job in the world. I did sell millions of them, and the Lord blessed me in that, okay? But what I want to say to you is I was faithful in that. And if I can be faithful in selling pump dispensers, the Lord probably can entrust me with other things, okay? So do whatever's in front of you and do it as unto the Lord with honour. Do it faithfully. But be constantly looking. Even as I was selling pump dispensers, I was starting to preach more and more on the weekends, Sunday evenings. I was starting to feel more and more called to what I'm doing. So as you're doing the thing that's in front of you, start to figure out what else maybe the Lord wants you to do in the midst of that. And start leaning into it. Start taking every opportunity to do it. Take every opportunity to do it. I used to take, when I was a teenager, buses and trains to go and speak in youth groups at my own expense because I knew there was something in the calling of that. So take every opportunity to do it, but let it unfold. Let your purpose unfold and allow it to change. Don't assume that the thing that you're doing now is what you're always going to be doing. The Lord tends to add to it actually over time. He tends to, like I 3 years ago was I'm not just a pastor, okay, but I was a pastor. Now I write, I'm a columnist, I do social media, I do a lot. My range of stuff has increased, but that has happened, accelerated incredibly quickly in 3 years. So don't assume that you're a one-trick pony. The Lord has made you multicoloured and has put plenty in you that you don't even know yet. And just because others can't discern it doesn't mean it's not there. So don't get stressed. Secondly, define and discern where you make a difference. Or discern your difference, discern where you're different, what you carry, what uniquely you carry. What is the thing that you bring into a room? What is the gift? What is the thing that you can do easily that other people stress at? You know, I when I'm up speaking, I come alive. Most people, public speaking is their worst nightmare. Perhaps for you it could be crafts, it could be art, it could be business, it could be finance. I know a lady who owns 22 pharmacies. She just makes money. She doesn't care about, if you met her you would not think she had a penny. She's a millionaire. She just finds it really easy to make money, and she pours it into the church and into children's charities and stuff, and she's amazing. But that's just her difference. And so define your difference, and then thirdly, define where you make a difference. Where is it you make the greatest impact? Where can you make a difference? Because ultimately it is not about you. It is not about your fulfillment even. It is about His kingdom and employing yourself and surrendering yourself and laying down your life for Him and all that He has for you. Because ultimately we want to hear this: well done. Well done, good and faithful servant. Okay guys, I hear the worship team singing in the background. They're loud. I'm outside in the car park and I can hear them loud, which is always great. I'm really looking forward to today. We're meeting at 9:30 and 11:30. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord watch over you. May the Lord give you the desires of your heart. May the Lord help you to discern your difference and to discern where you make a difference. And may He continually unfold His purpose in your life. God bless and have a wonderful day. Bye.